First, start by securing your thread to the hook, and then snip off the excess thread. Once it's snipped off, take your thread and wrap it back to the bend of the hook. For the tail and body of this fly, we're going to mix polar dub, prism flash, and angora goat together. Select a few fibers and tie them in at the bend of the hook. Once it's secure, double over the fibers so that you have all the fibers sticking out for the tail of your perch minnow. Now to build up the body, we're going to make a dubbing loop. And the way we do that is we pull out about 7 to 10 inches of thread, grab that thread with our hackle pliers, and then double over our thread, re-securing it to the shank of the hook, making 2 parallel lines of thread on the hook shank. Now with that left back there at the bend of the hook, bring your thread forward to just behind the eye. Now you have 2 pieces of thread that we're going to work our body material into. Select sparse amounts of body material and then slide them into the dubbing loop. Be sure to pack it pretty full, and then once it's all packed up, we're going to spin that material, creating almost like a very bushy chenille. And once that's all wrapped up, we're going to begin to wrap it around the shank of the hook all the way up to the eye of the hook. As we're wrapping it around, we're going to be pulling those fibers back so that way they don't get trapped underneath our wraps. Now quickly take notice, when we start to wrap the material around the shank, we're just using our thumb and index finger to hold that material back. Now once you've reached the eye of the hook, secure down the excess and then snip it off. Once it's snipped, add a few extra security wraps and then whip finish. Once you've whipped finish, snip off your excess thread. Now we're going to take our tying scissors and pull some of those trapped fibers away from the hook shank. And we're going to do that by simply raking our scissor points through the fly. Now with the scissor points, you just want to skim the top. You don't want to go too deep into the fly. We don't want to tear the fly apart. We just want to pull some of those fibers out. Now the next few steps are really going to add life to our fly. We're going to pull back a lot of that material and take an olive marker and skim the top of the fly, giving it a nice olive back. Do that from the eye of the fly all the way down to the tail. And once that's all marked up, we're going to take a little bit of orange and we're going to give our perch a little orange throat. Now be sure when you're coloring your flies to get both sides. You'll notice that the fly already has a little bit of a yellow tint to it, and that's because for the Angora goat, when we were mixing the dubbing, we used yellow Angora. If you wanted to make it a different color, simply change the Angora goat. Now what really seals the deal on this fly are the black stripes we're about to give it. Be sure that with your black stripes, you want them to be consistent on both sides of the fly. In this particular case, we're going to add a stripe right in the center of the shank, at the bend of the hook, and then right past the bend. From there, we're going to add our flashy eyes. Add one eye to either side of the fly. And once your eyes are secure, we're going to take some Zap-A-Gap with a brush applicator and brush it on over each eye. This is going to make sure that our eyes are going to stay on our fly even in the water. once that is secure, you have yourself a perch minnow pattern. Now, just to give you a better idea of what else you can do with this fly, here are some other colors to check out.